What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to Rustoria Base Invaders. Today we have North America, 6 mans today in the casting booth, though. I am joined by the one and only BlastRites. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Ready to see some shooting and see if bases are actually complete.
Yeah, that will be good. Now, we had EU a little bit earlier, but that one did finish up, and now it is NA. And so this tournament obviously brought to you today by Rusty Pod. A huge thank you to them for supporting that prize pool, allowing us to do what we do here. And yeah, but a little bit about the format. Obviously, these teams have had 30 minutes already of kind of, calm before the storm phase, allowed to build their bases up. And now we're going to have 30 minutes of this attack phase where they're allowed to shoot at each other but not really destroy any part of the base, and then an hour and 30 minutes of full-on raiding and demolition.
As you can see, this RU Flossie is trying to get their shooting floor upgraded, but I'm sure that some of the other team is making it a little difficult, and that would be Dig Bick. I hope not to slip on that name. And looks like we have heli moving in. It's not quite in land yet, but those crates, whoever gets lucky enough to get in those crates, those are 3 points apiece for a total of 15 points, which will help during this phase.
Will definitely help. Want to get those points, and we saw RU Flossie and VG both survive to the end of the EU phase. Neither of those really finished where they would have wanted to, but see if they can have a different outcome in this one. Now, the Dream also saw them in EU. Looks like they are still working on getting their outer compound wall up and going here. And, getting it ready to try and get this defense mounted.
Maybe you learned from last time. I saw how close their compound was. Maybe they had a little bit of the decay base when they built their compound outside of the TC range.
Possibly. But in this attack phase, like you mentioned, helicopters spawning that would drop some crates, 3 points on those each. Also, Bradley, Mr. Tank, will spawn and also drop some crates if we kill it. So, interesting spot for all these teams. Definitely a lot of teams trying to place themselves near the very valuable launch site to give themselves a lot of resources here. But it looks like teams just trying to build up, like you said, get their bases ready, because when this raid phase comes, teams are relentless.
And you're hoping that these guys are going to be meddling up their base, but from previous tournaments, there's always a few stone bases that never do get completely upgraded. But we'll wish them luck, otherwise they'll become one of the targets.
That is a very good point. A lot of teams here are very, very experienced. A lot of them have played in a lot of these before. So, trying to get their base up to that metal, maybe even that high quality. And, like you mentioned, stone bases that are left alive here become an instant target for anyone because they know they are most likely less experienced players or just, easier to, it takes less rocket, less boom, less resources to destroy.
Yeah. We have somebody trying to take down Heli. It is on fire, and there it went. Joker, out not near anybody. I don't see any bases close by. That was a great takedown as a solo.
Good takedown. We'll get that final shot on it. Those crates will take some time to extinguish themselves on the fire, but 3 points will be awarded if Joker can go get those. I believe they did change team names once again, so Joker changing names from EU to NA this time. But yeah, a good solo takedown there. Good to try and, secure those first, and it does seem like really nobody else is around, so pretty much free crates, free territory here for Joker.
Yeah, but as you can see on the map, everybody else can see it as well. The heli, it has a little marker there, so if anybody is expeditious enough to get out there, maybe has a heli or a scrappy, they might come and try to contest it. But with how, and maybe they're focusing around their neighbors because it seems like everybody's clustered.
Definitely does. Neighborhoods of death, a very real thing here. To be around the action, but when the action is around you, not the most fun thing. But Bradley looks like going to be top tier or at least on fire. Those crates going to be lit, and once again will take some time to extinguish themselves and let other teams kind of flow in, hear the sounds, and try and get positioned to maybe protect those crates from being taken so easily.
Yeah, we see Sesame with Elmo and Big Bird fighting against PJK. I'm not even going to say the rest of that. Cloud and Cody Lou. Hard to see. Maybe Apsy as well coming in. So a 2v3 coming up to fight over these crates.
I really hope Sesame has all Sesame Street names.
I know. I wanna see the whole team together.
Yeah, we'll have to see that. But yeah, again, just trying to contest this Bradley here, making sure those crates are not given for free. And Big Bird wants to prioritize it again. These crates take some time, so you have some time. You see Sesame Elmo there up on the high ground with a really nice angle. Cloud going to be stuck in this room and try and swing out, but Big Bird is there. A trade. Neither one goes down. Both are going to be super injured. Actually, Big Bird does get knocked there and finished. So Cloud, great shots, predicting that there's going to be a player waiting for him on the outside. Have to get those heels up and be careful of Elmo waiting for him up on that high ground.
Yeah, it's a great position up there. I mean, you're going to spot somebody else coming to the building, or you hear them, and it's going to take a while. So he's got good coverage up there, but looks like there's, I guess the gate entrance, the gatehouse, there's enough of a protection there. So if they can get to that gatehouse, they could probably sneak out. But once those fires go out, it's going to be a race against this guy.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
They're going to send some rockets wide and high away from him. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of a 1v4 scenario. But like you said, there's some time before those fires go out. You can get some, maybe your team members here. But it really seems like PJK, whatever, they have put a lot of members here and really prioritizing getting these crates around.
Yeah, usually you see maybe one or two of the players come out for Bradley. They don't usually come out in large numbers because you have somebody still back at the base, maybe another person helping to upgrade, and that's usually about it.
And that's very important, kind of splitting your resources. Don't want to have all 6 players out gathering because, then you can't get your base built up. And like you said before, bases that aren't fully built up are definitely a target here, especially with 6-mans, not the biggest squads, not the smallest ones either. So, you can split your resources pretty evenly. You don't have to, like a 3-man, you don't have to just like send out all 3 at once, but you can just kind of split your team up, 3 to your home base, 3 maybe sent out everywhere, and doing a really good job of it by that team that killed Bradley.
Yeah, it looks like 3 of Sesame's teammates are heading that way. Saw them on the map briefly, but we're going to go ahead and check out X-Ray to check out some more of the bases before they all get destroyed. Nice. Simple. I kind of like it. I'm thinking they're expecting some rockets coming over from their neighbor, so they have a little extension on their shooting floor.
It definitely looks like they are expecting some damage to happen here.
What is this?
So yeah, this is a base that was showcased in our EU, the first team to fall in our EU competition, using the exact same base design.
I don't even know what to think about it. But if you look at how narrow that base is, you could probably easily just foundy wipe that thing compared to any other base on here.
Yeah, it was an early target. It was placed right in the neighborhood of death with a lot of other teams there, and ended up falling in the EU first. But we'll see if they can survive today. You know, a new stylish design that they're trying out.
Yeah. And SWAT space is a little short, stocky thing, but I mean, nothing too special about it. The roof has a nice little walking platform and some places to hide turrets if they can get those placed. I don't see any yet.
You gotta give the realtor.com view of it. If you want to buy a house in this neighborhood. There's a lot of gunfire in the neighborhood, but you know, it's a nice, beautiful house.
I just gotta watch out for that one neighbor who's got that car out front.
Neighbors seem to have helicopters too, and things like that.
It's a strange neighborhood. So this base looks mostly complete. I hear a little bit, so maybe they went ahead and did sheet metal on the outside and are still doing the inside. But maybe they're all out roaming now that they're confident that their base is secure for the moment.
It's pretty secure, kind of small and narrow as.
Oh my god, they did.
Right.
We have Kermit the Frog, Bert, Cookie Monster, Ernie.
Okay.
Oh, that's too funny.
That the communication to just get all those names linked together is, I love it. Gotta love it. Oh man.
Have no idea who these players are, but it's fun.
Definitely is, yeah. But it's already gone though here in this attack phase. Looks like PJK did end up, you know, getting those crates over at Bradley, you would have to assume, and Joker did get those crates from the helicopter. So matching on the top of the leaderboard, 31 and 29 points respectively. Logitech, Flossie, and Sneck are going to be able to round out that top 5 for us. So early points by a lot of teams. Again, the team that is placed at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the attack phase will be getting 10 extra points.
We do see Snetic is number 4. They were our winners in EU under a different name. But so I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot from them, or the people who maybe got raided by them the last time will hunt them down and try to raid them first.
100%. And another base here looks like Friendly is going to be the base designers. No outer compound wall just yet, but a nice little spot on the beach. You know, they got 2 different types of terrain right under their feet. So they got woodland connecting to sand, and they got a cross right on the edge of the beach. So beautiful.
I do love the Halloween updates where the wood and all the other stuff you'd pick up on the ground are all some sort of like kind of creepy vibe. I think my favorite is the bones with the hand sticking up.
Love that.
And Heli is coming in.
Heli coming in. A lot of points available for anyone who wants to shoot that one down, but they also have a nice car. I mean, in very good condition on the outside of their house. Got to give it to them.
Little trash piles. It's fine. I'm sure. I would hope they would compound that up. Otherwise, they're going to become an easy target because they're all alone. Somebody might go after them just for the fact that they don't have to worry about too many counters as they would if they went after a neighborhood.
They're kind of isolated. See them on the map up there, all kind of by themselves. But yeah, this helicopter is going to start to take some damage here. And Joker is actually going to put a lot of damage into it once again. Joker, I can get the last shot on both of these helis. He's going to take some shots back. Adam Helicopter doesn't like that one too much, but it is blowing up, dropping some parts and pieces as Joker does some nice damage to it.
He's one of the dangerous players I see. He's just solo, anything solo or a duo, he is all over. And like if he just seems to do whatever he needs to get this team, get his team points.
Yeah,
you'll see him mid-raid phase going after Bradley, and it's just like, your team's out raiding. What are you doing?
Yeah, definitely a solo player, but he has that skill. He has that, that experience and skill combined together, and you see it right there, just solo taking down that helicopter, actually taking down both helicopters solo. Absolutely beautiful, and providing his team with those points and with that loot, I think is just invaluable as a player to have.
Yeah, he did lose his teammate. I don't know if the other guy was bagged, or maybe he's just not worried about coming back for the loot. But all they have to do is open the box. They don't have to take anything from it. But I would think they would probably want to take a few things, such as any of the explosives.
Let me get all that loot secured, but now about half of our attack phase left before we get into this raiding phase and all heck starts to break loose here in this Rust server. But for right now, teams just trying to get their base fully built up. VG got a nice little base. They got a little chip roof at the top, nice little peaks on that one. No breaks in the middle of it, but we'll have it nice. I believe they used a lot of turrets when they made their other base, but they got a hide and seek player on their base.
Mm-hmm. And the other guy's trying to see from downstairs. They're playing peekaboo with each other.
Yeah, peekaboo with guns.
Yes, it's a dangerous game. But Mac Trayer is trying to get a good eye. His teammates are taking care of Equinox, which is nice. I will say with this layout, it has to be very hard for them to actually get onto the roof from there, unless they were maybe to place a ladder.
Yeah, I don't think it's very possible for them to get up, but maybe playing, playing the thorn in the side game, being as much of a nuisance as possible. As some of the team here starts to walk in, some trades come through. VG, though, a nice little peek through that gate. Will be able to get 2 of those players instantly killed, and they actually find that third on that roof. So a reset there from the team that had to push, and half of our time again expired in this attack phase. So teams better be building up their base and getting ready to start defending.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many gunfights yet. There's just mostly around each other's battles. I'm not seeing tons of walls, like just the wall warfare that we do see. So maybe just taking from bases, and that's about it.
Getting some of those PvP points, and points still very, very close here on the leaderboard. 14 minutes left in this attack phase. Still got some time to get things repaired. Small chunky base here by Mark Trainer, looks like.
But none of those furnaces going. It's like, I understand you're all sheeted up. I mean, go ahead and cook some high qual. Make it as difficult as possible for the raiders to come get you.
Yeah, exactly. And being such a small base, I feel like they could be one of those targets. But, in this neighborhood of death, it's going to be interesting which team gets targeted first because, it's definitely like a dog pile. Like one team jumps on and then all 2, 3, 4, 5 other teams see it happening, go join in. And then you have, the counter raids happening where if you put too many team members out, then someone will go raid you because you're so close to them. But it'll be interesting in a chess game for sure.
Oh yeah, the strategy in this game, it's fun to watch because no team plays exactly the same, so just depends on who's left standing and who's out raiding, and it's fun.
Very much is. VG, though, looking strong off those defenders. Looks like Mac Trainer is still trying to get back in here, but VG is doing a good job of just keeping them out to keep these pests away and just trying to make sure that they don't get in the gates, get inside, because during this attack phase, that's really the most that they can do.
Hey, but them being a pest right here, I mean, it could be strategic as well. They could be preventing them from going over and grabbing more loot, going out to scout any buildings. I don't see a heli with these guys, so they don't really have a way to go out and fly a way out of here. So they're isolated at their base and not getting to scout and might become a quick target.
That is very true. Information is a big piece of knowledge here for these teams, and if your information is limited, your recon is limited, then it is possible that you're isolated for most, if not all, of the day today, and you really don't want that. VG sends some players out, they do get eliminated, but we're going to swap on over, see some other bases, switch over to this forest/winter area, 2 bases facing each other, immediately. Looks like Uga is going to be nice base. It looks like actually nice little chipped roof. Differences in height on that one, and nice little shooting floor, pairing it all on up. Seems like a strong base early on here.
Absolutely, it's a chunker. I mean, that compound is kind of small, so, but maybe they don't need it. Usually, a lot of the places will give a room for a heli or a scrappy, but maybe they have a vehicle or something that they're going to use. Oh, they do have a little mini up top. I guess it's a large enough base that they have room.
They have room up top, but still a dangerous location to put your vehicles. But yeah, a smaller compound wall is you don't have room for as much furnaces, other stuff, but it's also a tighter defense. Doesn't allow as many holes in your wall. If they do start to push on in, they only can funnel in through certain ways. But a nice big base from Uga. They'll be facing off against QCYO. Saw them in the EU tournament a little bit earlier. Again, with a great base, really nice shooting peaks from the roof, and overall just really clean.
Yeah, these guys seem to always be in contention for like the top. They're always active. They're always at a raid or defending their own raid. It's really fun to watch. And I know that they those little platforms are out there, and it's gonna keep extend the TC health out to the walls to keep them from decaying. But I've always been curious how fast the decay would happen if you took out those. And I would be one of the evil people to go try.
Just watch as their outer walls decay.
And then I just go in. And maybe when they're off raiding, you go ahead and take care of that and just watch. No, but that's probably why I don't play this game. Well, I play Rust, just not this tournament, because I would die in an instant.
Yeah, I definitely would too, but second patrol helicopter inbound here for these players. Again, we'll see if Joker can get, that hat trick, get all three, but Arable is going to be leading the leaderboard right now with 63 points. Once again, if they hold that position for these final 10 minutes, they'll gain an extra 10 points, leading themselves into the raid phase. But we have seen some easy bases kind of around here, some stone here on this base here, and as we mentioned before, some kind of trench warfare walls placed up. But yeah, any team really getting a TC can put themselves right back into this tournament.
Yeah, it looks like somebody attempted to put down a raid platform. There's no beds on it, so I don't know if those people were cleared out. The duck may have actually defended against it. It looks like a decent base. The open concept is a little weird, so there is another raid platform. Like from up top, it's maybe too much showing, because if somebody flies over, they know what kind of base you have. They know the design, the layout, and everything else. They still need to finish that base and do it quickly.
Yeah.
Because we have 8 minutes.
8 minutes. That is all the time they have to repair that base. Like you're saying, a little bit open from the air. It is a little bit vulnerable from the ground, not as much, but they do need to definitely get that stone repaired. Now, another base, very vertical, not as much wide on this one. Compound walls very, very tight against the structure here to try and protect against invaders, but they're trying to get all those furnaces working, trying to get all this repaired as they keep building up and up.
And that is a lot of furnaces, and it helped these guys to get upgraded as quickly as they could, but they're still not running. But it does create an issue if anybody does break into that wall. If anybody who plays this game knows that those are a pain in the butt, you can get stuck in there. So if one of those players accidentally picked the wrong place to jump through, they could get stuck, and then they're just a target.
Yeah, pretty much. Very much so. So we'll have to get those final walls repaired up top and get ready. Only 7 minutes for them to do so, and we got some teams around them. Going to be a little bit scary to fight. You really see these clumps on the map, clumps of different teams. How final helicopter will go down here. Igor, ID Net OT, will be no player to take that shot. But yeah, you see these clumps of bases. Players like to, they like to play around other players because, it either makes an easy target for others and puts you close towards other fighting.
Yeah, and Bara having this stuff go having the heli land here, they just got in before the other team and is able to set up positioning. So have that vehicle and those other players already knowing where it's going to fall. Nobody can set up walls in here, so it's going to be an open run. So they need to find strategic places to stand to defend the walls and people coming in.
That is a good point. Yeah, cannot build inside these named locations here on the map. And once again, attack phase, 6 minutes left here, and then we'll be getting into the raid phase. Looks like Audible still leading the charge here, 66 points for them. Barra, some nice points. PJK also Logitech. A lot of these teams just keeping up with their points, keeping themselves up on the leaderboard. But, you know, as we've seen when it comes down to that raiding phase, it really comes down to who can get a couple of those TCs and stay consistent with getting points.
Yeah, and these guys, I mean, they're doing a good job of protecting the airfield, not letting the other guys get anywhere close. DNet Dot maybe have decided to retreat, go back to base. It's not worth it. Get ready for a raid and maybe actually go after those guys that stole heli.
See if they can, but those final heli crates available, some points available too, so good to get that one. Joker doesn't get all three, sadly. But we'll see if those points do matter though. I mean, we see Audible, you know, leading by 15 definitely because of those heli. And you know, while he was doing that, like you mentioned, because he did that solo, it gave his team the opportunity to go out and scout, to go out and gather more resources, and they can be more prepared than other teams because Joker went on that solo run.
Yeah, I mean, he had almost half of the points just by looting those crates and taking down those helis. So, I mean, it's a great job by Joker, and it is worth it.
Much is worth it. But now 5 minutes left here. Attacking phase, only a sixth of it left. Make sure you gotta get your base ready to go. If it is not ready by this time, you know, gonna be rough. You know, a lot of those experienced teams are going to look for that easy target here. Once again, two facing off bases toward each other. We got kind of an interesting base here by our leaders of Audible. It's kind of, you know, it's a little bit big and wide, but the interior I think is the most interesting part.
Yeah, I love the different ways that they're doing. They have some interesting peaks right there. Looks like a little Wonder Woman symbol. But they have little ramps up to the little shooting floors. Yeah, but the inside is the fascinating part with these builders. They go on and go on to build servers and practice, and it's so fun to watch them and how quickly they can move and build one of these bases.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely have the practice and the know-how to get there. I mean, we talk about Joker, one of the most experienced players in the lobby here today that shows up just every single week for EU and NA. Rust is their life.
Yeah. And I mean, but they seem to love doing it, and I'll watch them occasionally. Before I started casting, I would watch like BG and a couple other ones. I think Blizzard also, and watch them during just the build phase. And I think that was my favorite part. It's just watching the builders. It's almost hypnotizing to see how fast they move.
It is kind of crazy, and you know, it's not just a one-person game. You see the whole team working together, you know, gathering resources, building it all together. You got to give them props for doing as well as they already have. Leading by 12 points now, 3 minutes left. Once again, the team that is at the top of that leaderboard at the end of these 3 minutes will gain an extra 10 points, catapulting them into that raid phase. And having a player like Joker on your team in that raid phase is beautiful. You know, they've been very consistent before, and they will do it most likely again, where they can get nice and easy, fast raids off. Somehow, you know, hold that top of the leaderboard.
And it looks like our Obel, I can't even say that name, is already possibly scouted out a team that they're going to come after by picking on these guys. I think this is Mal. Or is this Are You Flossy? No, this is Are You Flossy. No, it is Mal. Okay.
Yep, scouted out, it looks like their neighbors, their closest target to them, and that's important. You know, taking out the closest target to you allows you to expand out further, take out more different targets, and kind of travel to other bases where you aren't as at much risk because there isn't your direct neighbor still alive.
Yeah, you do want to kind of clear out your neighborhood just because if somebody happens to be home and sees that none of your guys are at your base, they might move on your base. And so clearing out your closest neighbor, there's less of a threat, and then you can go out and see what else the island has to offer.
See what it has to offer, but a minute and 30 now for this attack phase, and Honorable, they're doing a good job of holding down that first place position, but Barra's closely inching towards them, trying to sneak those 10 points from right out under their nose. But yeah, looks like they have scouted here this team of Mal that they want to kind of invade towards first, and being the nature of Rust once again, we see RU Flossie also preparing to attack it, and meaning that there could be some other teams that hop on this raid as well.
Yeah, I do believe there's one other base that's nearby, so they might come in and push on the backside of RU Flossie. But Donde is actually doing an amazing job finishing that build, and the teammates are doing a good job distracting them from shooting him while he finishes. He's putting up some of those fanned roof.
Yeah, those are really huge, especially having high ground, a huge position to have when two teams are raiding towards you. The hardest part, though, for Maul is going to be they're not raiding from the same direction, so they're not going to really shoot towards each other, but it will be a fight to try and defend this right away. We did see some other bases that will probably fall before this one. The little office block building standing there, that was all pretty much just a vertical base, but we'll see which one goes down first. 20 seconds here in this attack phase.
Oh, let the fun begin. Now, who brought the boom with them? Or are they going to have to go back to their base to get it?
That is a good question. Who brought the rockets? Oh, you forgot him? Oh, I didn't bring him. Oh, okay. Let's go back.
And the Dream and Dig Bick are exchanging some roof fire. Not really doing much. Maybe they'll be picking on each other. Big Poppy T is at home with RU Flossie, while the rest of his team is out.
Kind of shooting towards each other again, trying to take out your neighbor the quickest possible, but that vertical base, definitely one of those targets. We're seeing some other, stone bases that are also becoming targets early on, but the rockets already raining down here as this raid phase starts. And a reminder, so it looks like Barra actually just barely jumps ahead of Horrible there and gains those 10 points. They'll have a slight lead on them, but it's still not a huge lead again. TCs are with 40 points here, and it fully eliminates a team no matter how much points they have. So we'll see what they can do. We'll see if they can catch back up. And Logitech Shabi already on an 8-kill streak.
Looks like Mac Trayer just has a single guy over here picking on the number one. Was taken out, but he blew out 2 of the walls, 3 walls from their compound. Maybe just keeping them distracted, keeping them from going after another target.
Keeping them distracted, definitely important. Keeping people away from your base. Here is the base that we assumed may fall first once again. Their outer compound wall is already going to be broken in here. And 2-3 teams are looking to take it. It's going to be a race to see up there first. Interesting concept design. It looks like they actually high-walled all that bottom, but really not going to be enough, it seems, to defend all these rockets.
No, definitely not. Sorry, I thought for a second that the foundation was stone, but it's actually the high wall. It just looks odd for a second.
Yeah. High-qual foundation, but that foundation is going to take some boom here. Surepack is going to be eliminated there by Logitech. They're themselves up into first, but yeah. We're trying to just force all these teams out there. Just a big target in the sky right now as the foundation is taking a lot of damage. More C4 is going to be tacked on top of it.
I mean, I like the uniqueness of the base. It's not like all the other ones where it has mainly the same design, but you have to build it wider. This is just an easy foundy wipe. I mean, granted, they do have to get through all that high qual, but it's just not enough.
It really does not seem to be. Maybe come back with a better defense next time, but they're going to try and send some players not over just yet. There's some players down deep on the inside. It's that centerpiece goes, the rest of it doesn't seem too much high wall, so it is going to be pretty rough. Looking like a foundation wipe here is the choice for these teams. A is trying to be this team that takes it out first. They're building some more high-wall foundation, though. That's what they're going to run into. Lots of C4, lots of rockets going to have to be utilized, and you don't want to be the team that, you know, lets it slip right in front of your grasp.
I do enjoy the fact that you have X-Ray over there shooting off some rockets on the other side of the base. You have your guys in there C4ing, not really seeing the rockets go off. But one of the biggest problems, I think, is the shooting floor is you don't have a way to look down. I mean, you have some of those peaks, but it's not, doesn't really seem to help too much when it's so close to, if somebody's really close to your base.
Right, exactly. It doesn't help, you know, those players that are literally under your base right now. They've destroyed yet another one of those high quality underground foundations. Gonna get killed though. The leaders just trying to do the best they can right now. Try and stop these players. But, you know, another high qual done. Only two more, and then it will most likely be just the base falling apart here. The foundation not surviving in a rough position.
It really isn't. Although they are sending some rockets down, which will give the guys that are C4ing a little bit of harder time. But when you can see daylight through your other base that quickly, it's not a good sign for a base build.
That's a key thing of it. You know, it's like a starlight. You know? Starlight that gets rockets shot through it.
I mean, X-Ray's doing a good job of keeping PJK out of that core to be able to put more C4 down. But I was like, go ahead and take out some of that sheet metal. You'll start to work on getting the shooting floors taken out.
Right. Yeah, start to take out that sheet metal, start to take out those shooting floors, but it's just going to be a few foundations left. The Rockets aiming towards these other foundations. They're trying to help on this other side. Question will be who gets this one first, honestly. But Tweeters, they can't really do anything to defend here as rockets raining down on top of this foundation. Two more high quality foundation. The rest looks like metal. But other than that, I mean, it's just a race to see who can get it first.
The Hot Wheels says hi to you. We finally made it.
In
chat.
See it? Yeah, Logitech, that's huge. They take a second TC right there, and that is going to be 161 points already, while everyone else is kind of busy over here on this base. They're going to get themselves 2 different TCs.
Honestly, I just want to see this thing fall over. Hey, just a few more. I mean, that is one of the things that does take a little bit to foundy wipe, but especially with all the high wall that was there. But now we just see mostly sheet metal that's left. There's a couple of foundations still that are high qual. And they're trying to get those rockets.
Yeah, they're trying. They're doing everything they can, and as soon as the repairs come down, instantly destroyed. You hate to see it, but some nice sheet metal place. Trying to do what they can. It's just sad.
Oh, and he's taken out. It was a nice attempt by the builder, maybe a little too late, but I think that was the first chance that he got to be able to hop down there.
They really just send out players to try and eliminate, you know, multiple teams just shooting it on this outside, and they are not slowing down. Another one of those those really high quality pieces of foundation falling apart. It seems like there's only maybe 2, maybe 3 pieces left. And then it's probably all going to topple over, fall apart. I'm here for it though.
It's exciting stuff. These just need to go. I guess they used all their C4.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to blow through all that high qual. I mean, especially a foundation with that much health, it is a little bit rough. But you know, maybe having to go back and get some more. Don't want to waste all of that C4 and rockets for nothing. Don't want to let the other team that is shooting at it try and take it from you.
Just saw that when that guy opened the door from the exterior to get inside his base, he's like, oh, no, backed out. The Dream eliminated Sesame. So the Sesame Street gang is gone.
The other way around.
Oh. Oh, wait, sorry. Sesame's beat the other guys. My bad.
Yep. The Dream will be falling out of this one. Sesame Street. Big Bird is gonna become violent this time and kill their opponents. So, on them to get their first TC here. They'll be jumping themselves up into second place, 107 points for them, and it is just maybe 2 or 3 foundations left on this sad little base.
And if any of these guys, yeah, here's more C4 going off. Just take out those. Do it quick before the other guys do.
That'll be a timing issue. Poor base.
We already see it going.
Poor base, man. Oh, so unfortunate. Oh,
but still not TC.
it's not there. It's that final foundation. Who will get it first is a race to get it. The TC is in that section, that final little standing piece.
I'm sure these guys are like, God, how many more rockets do we need?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it comes down to the final foundation, and actually looks like all the players are dead. So yeah, they're trying to respawn. They're trying to get something going, but it is all down to this connector foundation. It looks like the high qual piece actually broke off on the bottom. It's going for the actual TC. It's in this backside, but I think they're just going for the bottom because that high quality sheet is already broken. It's down to this final little piece. X-ray. They get the final rocket on it. Oof. Fun little base, crushing its dreams.
And for PJK, that has to be heartbreaking for how many C4 they did most of the damage to that base, but those rockets never stopped from X-ray. They were relentless.
That's gotta hurt. I mean, you put so much into that base. You mentioned it. The rockets, everything was there, and you know you're gonna have to go probably farm up to get some more resources because X-ray just steals that straight under your nose. Snetic though also getting a TC here into second place. Logitech with those 2 TCs early on in this rating phase. We'll be taking a little bit of an early lead here, still up about 50 points.
Yeah, Are You Flossie and Arobel coming in and trying to get on this raid. It looks like Are You Flossie has a decent foothold inside.
Getting a foothold here, try and climb up on in. Try and find this base. And Are You Flossie? No, they've been definitely good, but Arobel, we've seen them kind of slow down. They were near the top, them and Bara at the end of that attacking phase, but really haven't moved towards to get anything just yet. They're both targeting this large piece of the wall, it looks like, but once again, it's going to be a race between these 2 teams to see who can get in it first.
They're doing a good bit of damage. I mean, they're just having to get through all the little crawl spaces. It looks like this is mainly just the jump ups, taking out a wall instead.
And find their way on in. No TC just yet. I wonder what's behind this wall. Oh, it's another wall.
Surprise, surprise.
But we'll see if they can get in further, if they can get it. But it looks like Arobel is kind of pushing from the top, it looks like, actually. They've maybe laddered up, and they're going to be pushing from opposite directions, it looks like. So All's going to have to deal with this. An unfortunate turn of events for them as they're going to be raided by 2 very, very experienced teams here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to come up against these guys. But I'd say that about any of these teams. So they're trying to maybe just protect the way up currently, keep Are You Flossie from coming after them.
Protect it. Try and do what they can. As much as you can do. I mean, it's 6 mans. It might be a little bit more doable if we're talking, if you have some more players. But, it's 6 mans. You're talking 6v12. It is a large task to ask you for all. And pushing from opposite sides to opposite directions, one from the top, one from the bottom. It is just a rough scenario to be in.
Yeah, because you'd imagine that most of the beds are already taken out, so this team would have no other option but to spawn from the outside bag if hopefully they place one, and then come in.
You'd have to hope that they have those outside bags to at least get them a closer spawn because, yeah, like you said, once those inside bags get destroyed, it is a rough scenario. Without not being able to spawn in your own home territory, having to walk into the enemies have claimed as their own. And it is going to be a rough one here for Maul as, again, a fight to try and find it first between our ball into this RU Flossy team. Now, both these teams, they could really use this TC.
I think these guys might have an idea. No, maybe just another walkthrough.
See if they can
It's an
find
interesting, yeah, it's an interesting base. It's like it seems very confusing, very tunnely. They can go down one, but you have to go through so many doors, but it's inside the door.
That could be it. Just a maze, you know, what they wanted to design. But Joker going to be leading the charge here, along with the team, and trying to break into this one even further. You know, they do have the experience to try and figure out these designs, and there you go. The C4 is going to blow open this door. Audible has done it. They will eliminate Maul. And that one has to hurt for RU Flossy after they invested a lot in it.
That pushes, that takes out 8th place. So, I mean, and they jump up to 2nd with that. So they're they're less than a TC away from getting Logitech. So more PvP points and going after the next base will be on their to-do list.
Exactly, they are right back in it, and a beautiful take from them. We know their experience coming into show, and again, that was their first neighbor, so now they can walk out further. This is Duck's base, as they are, again, have those really, really wide walls, allows for a lot of entrances from these enemy teams here, so we'll see what they can decide to do. Looking like, again, still didn't get those repairs off, all stone on that bottom half, and, you know, stone just really, it just paints a target on your back because you don't have that sheet metal finish.
It does. I mean, and then it's going to take people, I mean, they look at this base and they see that everything's sheet metal up, that maybe that's going to be where TC is somewhere up there. But it could just be maybe inexperience or lack of materials. I'm not sure why they wouldn't continue to at least sheet metal the core. That's usually what you see.
At least get some metal on that core. But they do have the advent calendar type base, and for anyone that doesn't know or know what that is, you know, it's a base basically that consists of an advent calendar, you know, that has a bunch of random doors that only one of them will have the big treat, the big TC that will eliminate the base if you find it inside. And, you know, it kind of comes down to a luck on whether the team can find it or not. But it's also some sort of, you know, like that chess game we talked about, you know, where you position your TC usually away from where a team is going to shoot rockets at you. But from this team being on, you know, the outskirts of the land, you might have a place, like you said, maybe in that core.
Yeah, it looks like they've already looked in the bottom area of the core, so they know it's not there. They may be going high or going after some of the other doors that they haven't gotten through the advent calendar. That's a little nasty, Pete.
But they don't like getting hurt.
No, definitely not. Cutler's coming in and taking care of that team. And they're doing a good job.
Yeah, stealing all their loot. You see them grab that rocket launcher off the back of those crates. Going to be stealing all their boom and going to use it against them. Feels bad. They're now going to jump up here.
They're just going to start shooting every single door they can see. And there's still a few standing. Not much left, though.
No, not really much left. Just a few of those advent calendar doors. I have to assume it'd be in one of those. And there you go with that rocket. Cutler eliminated. Like, Duck eliminated by Cutler. And a beautiful take from them. Going to dump themselves into 4th place, trying to keep themselves in the competition today. And yeah, it's just it sucks from Duck, you know, just coming out trying to defend with just stone is not the best.
No, definitely not.
It's like here though.
Yeah. But that one raid for Kotler, I mean, it pushes them up to 4th with 134 points.
That's a massive raid for them, you know, just keeping themselves in this game, making sure they don't slow down, because we're talking about 20 minutes already gone here almost in this raid phase, and you know, as time starts to go down and down, there are going to be less and less easy bases to raid. So really good on them to get that one, keep themselves in, like you said, jump themselves up to 4th, and they're still about a TC away from that first place.
Can't tell if they're despawning some C4. Maybe they are giving up. They found somebody's C4 and then they're just tossing it out so it can't be used on their base. It is a tactic we see pretty often. Especially with how much damage. What did the ground ever do to you guys?
I guess they ate it. That's what it is.
Yeah, we see it occasionally. Like sometimes they'll just see a door that's not anywhere near where the players are, and they'll put it in that little triangle with those doors on it, let them despawn. I'm not sure what the despawn rate is for any of the weapons and stuff on the ground, but I see it happen often enough. It's like they just loot a body and then go put it away, and then you can go grab it later if you defend the raid successfully.
Exactly. You can have that, you know, if your inventory's full or if you don't want anybody else to get it, you can kind of just let that despawn, making sure it's not used against you or used on that base that you want to attack. And then, you know, if you have time later, you can go get it, and you are really the only one that knows where it is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other raids going on. We have Dig Bick. Looks like Sesame Street Gang is going to go after these guys.
Rockets coming out already, hole blown into the base, and they're laddering on in. Sesame, I mean, we saw them get one raid successfully off already, and they look like they are fast and clean with it. As C4s are going to start to go down here, I mean, they already have an entrance on in. Communication is going to be key for this one, but Vic is going to be trying to defend this one with all of their might. But yeah, again, Sesame, they seem like a very, very experienced team here, and they have the ability to get those raids off very quickly.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to push out the guys from the team. They were able to defend. Now, if they can get some repair work done before the team can move in, but it looks like RU Flossie is coming over to say hi.
Coming over to give a little bit of a wave here, kind of raiding from that same side that Sesame was. So we'll be able to spot those final players of Sesame out. Sesame kind of dipping away, it looks like, at the moment, but we'll switch on over to another base here, which is VG. It looks like they're trying to defend. We saw them getting raided, kind of not fully raided, but you know, just kind of getting poked and prodded a little bit by this Deep Mac trainer here earlier, but they're going to be inside already, and they're going to be looking to try and take out this experienced team of VG.
Yeah, it looks like they got in from the roof. Took out the turrets, which is nice, but I don't know why they aren't destroying the beds. I mean, it's unless you can get them armed, there's no point in killing them, other than keeping them distracted.
Yeah, maybe keep those respawn timers up. Maybe just try and be a pest. Make sure that they think they have a respawn there. But yeah, again, you only get points for kills on people that are kitted, so you can't just go around just spawn camping every single player of the team. But you know, that's meant on purpose, obviously. But we do have another raid going here. Looks like Kinetic is going to be trying to raid over here with some C4. This was one of the bases that, you know, they had a really tight compound wall, but not able to defend it, meaning this team is just able to walk in for free.
And these are the winners from EU, so very experienced players and winners, and I have no doubt that they maybe have seen this base design, or they're just getting a good layout of the area.
Right. And boom always helps, you know. Throw out some boom, see if you can find it, and like you said, the experience definitely comes in clutch. That they know how to build, and that also means that they know what builds usually look like, so can definitely look through these ones. But yeah, Advent Calendars type base here, it's what we commonly see, you know, it's what is referred to as the meta right now of Rust in base building, is just, you know, a bunch of doors, and it is behind all of them, but you know, it will come down to some shots here from Snetic, who's going to get some nice shots, killing too often. It's important to get those kills because, you know, it takes a long time to switch between your rocket launcher and your rifle, and timing that correctly before, you know, the defenders actually get there is huge.
Yeah, and the reload animation takes a really long time as well. But that's why, like, solo raiding is one of the hardest things I've seen done. I mean, it is possible. I've seen them do quite a lot of damage, just one person coming in and being a rat. But like having somebody, especially if you're rocketing, it's like having somebody to watch your back is key.
Definitely is. Terry Finances also on a 15 kill streak. Love that for that team, but Arbo has done some catching up along with BJK towards that Logitech team. Now, Logitech, we haven't seen them much, but we know they've gotten 2 of those successful raids off, and they're most likely looking towards another. But a lot of teams are, you know, keeping themselves in this one. We're seeing that, you know, in the top 7, even the top 8, top 9, that all of these teams, 1 or 2 TCs, can definitely still keep them in this game. I like to see that, you know, really, really high competition here.
Yeah, it is a close competition. And now it's just a matter of where the heck did they put TC?
That is the question that stumps all Rust players every time. And,
yeah. It looks like that door up there may lead to just an outside, or somebody's just going through, checking what's still available to them, and knows that they've already rocked into that door, so we went back inside.
See, but yeah, I want to answer that question of where is the TC, starting to blow off some of those face covers on those doors. It's a little bit more of an interesting advent calendar type base where, you know, you have a front facing wall blocking all of those door rooms, so it's a little bit extra rocket usage, but, you know, it's a little bit more dangerous from the outside, but it doesn't seem like this team gets raided from the outside at all. So working a little bit extra, making this team use a little bit more rockets, and we're already at an hour and 5 minutes, almost a third of the way through this raid.
Looks like they've been able to keep the other team out for the most part, which is really nice for them.
Seem that way.
It doesn't seem like there's anybody countering this raid either, or if they are, other teammates are keeping them away. I see daylight.
Break into that outside of the base, but yeah, just trying to get through these doors here. 4 minutes left in the raiding phase. They got some time to do so. Logitech, they've been slowing down on gaining points. PJK has gained some ground on them, cutting their lead to just 20 points. But Logitech, they've been getting some points still, and they are definitely dangerous. We've seen them take out 2 TCs already today. How many more? We don't know just yet. But focusing on the Snetic team, I mean, they're investing a lot, and like you said, just keeping away a counter raid, just putting down the rockets systematically, and really good just taking down this base piece by piece.
And they may have thought this area would have been ideal just because it was facing the water, it was facing away from other bases. Maybe they thought this corner was going to be it.
That's smart. Again, the chess game of hiding the TC, of where to put it versus where other bases are, but I've not found it just yet. These front-facing walls been a little bit of a problem for them as they start to blow them off with the C4 here. Like some walls behind them. Blow into this one, see if they can get it blown. They will, and behind the wall is, surprise, another door.
More doors, more doors.
We were talking on the EU broadcast that it's Halloween time. You know, they need some Halloween decorations, but we're waiting for Christmas time when we get to see all the doors, all the Christmas doors.
Yeah, some of them do get creative and use those skins that they've either purchased or got as a drop, and so every now and then it's fun to see it. We'll see the lockers occasionally. I know when those came out, the locker skins, we saw them everywhere because it was like, hey, this item finally got a skin.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Rocket's gonna continue here for this Snetic team. Just once again, piece by piece, just taking it down, making sure they follow their procedures, their experience coming in here, just making sure that they get through every single thing. It's precise Rocket. You know, they're trying to target the locations that they think most would be, you know, they're not trying to waste rockets, they're just trying to find the specific location that it would be. And once again, targeting these doors that are, again, facing towards the water, like you mentioned, where team could have possibly placed one because it is away from other bases.
This guy's using rockets to get some splash damage on both doors. I think he's already moved on to something else. He's got the attention span. Well, he's moving quick. I won't say he's got the attention span of a gnat, because that's just rude. But he's already moving on, doing multiple things at once. Maybe he's just a really good multitasker.
Multitasking here. Some C4 going to be blown, and they're going to, again, target these lower walls here. Maybe a little bit more towards the ocean facing, but just try and give themselves a little bit of an entrance here towards this next set of doors here. Don't see just yet if they're going to continue, but Cutler is, they really can't find their way into the base. It must be that their inside beds are destroyed or something, or they just have no weapons, because it just seems like Snetic is able, and the communication, like you said, having a player with a rifle, not everybody rocketing at once, to just take out those players is huge.
Yeah, it looks like Kotler came in. So that was 2 Kotler teammates that were coming into this base. Or was that is this Kotler's base?
I believe so.
Okay, my brain is, I thought it was a different team. Just imagining things now.
That should be Color's base. They are spawning up on that top, but Snetic is going to try and continue in this one. They will get a kill traded back as Snetic members try and come back. And they've used a lot of boom on this one, but a very isolated base, meaning that Kotler trying to send some members back, trying to respawn here, and trying to make sure that Snetic cannot get back to the top.
Oh, and he's taken out from up top. Looks like there's only one Kotler member up top. Let's go check out another.
Switch on over, yeah. Like, Sesame is going to once again be inside of a raid here. We can see the repairs from where they raided on earlier, but RU Flossie is also going to be here, so kind of a low raid here from both sides. Sesame player down on the low ground there, some beds and stuff going to be destroyed.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, but seeing Kermit the Frog down, I just was Kermit the Frog here. I don't know, my brain just wanted to see if they were doing voices in chat.
That'd be good. And there you go, actually, yeah, Sesame, get it. Nice and quick raid, it looks like, for the puppets there. It is a beautiful one, and I really hope they are speaking in some voices there. They just took the lead with it at 213 points, with just breaking into that hour mark in this raid.
They have a lot more work to get up there. They have, the number one does, but the other teams, I mean, you see QCYO, which usually we see kind of high up there, is falling behind. They're at 97, so I mean, they have the leader at 215. They've got 2 more that they would need to get done to get up there, or more than 2.
Yeah, more than 2 is really what they need to try and catch back up, because it's a rough scenario. You know, being behind is, you still have an hour of time, you still have a decent amount of time, but as we can see, there are a lot of those early teams dying out. It becomes a point where it's going to be a lot harder to find a easy base to raid, and or a base that is going to be raidable by yourself. So all these other teams are definitely going to jump onto it, and we're talking about it that as time goes on and on, you have to think about taking out those top teams that are above you to kind of eliminate some of that harder competition.
Yeah, I'm wondering if several of them were stuck at a raid and they just haven't been able to get anywhere with it, and maybe they kept going after it, and it's not working out for them, because a few of those teams usually expect to see a lot more points out of them, and we haven't yet.
Exactly. You know, it's tough when you just continue a raid, especially one of those advent calendar bases, and you're like, oh, it's not behind this door, not behind this one. You get through 100 doors and it's not behind it. It's pretty demoralizing. You use so much resources to do it, and you're seeing all these other teams on the scoreboard go up and up and up, and all you're doing is really just staying stagnant.
Yeah, I guess that's why I like the raid that happened against Pooh Eaters, just because like it was full force. They were like, we're just taking down the entire base. It's so rare we actually get to see a foundy wipe, and that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We've seen a few of them before, but yeah, that was definitely a fun base to see both in EU and then your dreams crushed, sad to say.
Yeah, close your garage doors, please.
Close your garage doors.
It doesn't. It'll still take another 2-3 rockets that they'll have to spend to get through it, and they're all open.
Yeah, just leaving open a spot for the team to just walk in freely is not the best thing to have. You want to get those closed PSA anyway. Close your garage doors. that is what you need to do. But
I mean, I've seen it to where, like, when you see that previous base that had all the doors closed, I mean, they were having to go one by one by one. I mean, it slows the other team down. It gives you a better chance to set up. It's another door you could possibly hide behind. I mean, there's so many other things. It might give a chance for counters to come. You need to use anything to your advantage. And yes, it may slow you down running through your base, but in the long run, the defense of your base is the most important part of this game, because your TC's gone, you're gone.
exactly, you lose your TC, you're out of the game. It doesn't matter how many points you have, and having those garage doors, just, I mean, it's just a question mark for me, because like if you want to use other things, if you want to use regular doors, you could do that too, but choosing to use the garage doors but instead just not closing them is really just a mysterious question to me. And like you said, probably just something of, you know, coincidence that they want to just run through them easier. But the defense of your base is the most important thing in this game.
We'll go check down another raid that's happening. Logitech. So our number 3 currently is being raided, or at least the rockets are being shot at it. And it's quiet. Too quiet. Oh, somebody's just roof rocketing. Take out that turret.
Rating of the rockets as it goes here in the Rust. 55 minutes now in this raiding phase. Almost halfway done. 10 more minutes and we'll be at that halfway point. Sesame still holding down this lead. And once again, today's prize pool is brought to you by Rusty Pot. A huge thanks to them for sponsoring this one. Yeah, Sesame, 234 points, 235 points, sitting in that first place position. Bara, Logitech, holding down second and third pretty closely. And Audible, fourth, along with BJK, kind of holding it with Snetic. All those three teams kind of at 170. But Sesame showing that they can really get these raids off this lead now.
Now, if you can duplicate that rocket really quick, take out that turret. But it looks like Logitech's going to come over and try to get Bara out of their base. Well, that's one way to get out of it.
Just get yourself out of there.
Just jump down. It's fine.
Jump out, you know?
Yeah, it seems Logitech is being defensive at the moment. They haven't really returned anything. They're just rebuilding, putting up some more stuff. But somebody needs to start going after Bara if they want to put them off. Just doing some PvP isn't gonna stop them.
And see, that's what always gets me though. I'm an Apex Legends player. There's no fall damage in that. And I go into Rust. I'm just gonna yeet myself off this thing. It'll be all good.
Nothing bad will happen.
Nothing bad has ever happened. These rockets are gonna rain down, roof raiding windows, and Logitech, they do have to be careful. Again, like you mentioned, you lose your TC, you are out. As an unsuccessful defense, you are out. Does not matter how many points you have. And Logitech, they've been doing good to keep up their points, but this base is taking some damage. They're trying to get quick repairs off, but it takes a while for that durability to build back up. So these rockets can most likely just one-shot the sheet metal and other stuff. They are just cracking a large hole into the side of this base.
It really depends on how many rockets Bara does have. They could use a lot of this, but this builder is doing an amazing job keeping the damage to a minimum, what he can. But I mean, with the barrage that's coming at them right now, I mean, there's nothing they can do other than maybe try to return raid, make their roofs start shaking, go after them, make them pull out their guns rather than those rocket launchers.
Exactly. You know, try and get something going, some sort of, you know, counter raid, but it also is interesting. We talk about the chess game, where to put your TC. We have to assume the TC is not on this side, although the rockets are good to kind of, you know, blow a hole in, kind of blow some of those doors and options away. You know, it is kind of, you think about it, it's kind of a waste if they can get those repairs off, because you know the TC is not going to be on this side.
That's true, but I mean, if you're also making pretending or them trying to repair as much is maybe giving them the false impression that this is where the TC is placed, and that's why we're so interested in repairing and protecting it. So I mean, it could be done either way. There's so much little chess maneuvers and everything else that you're doing by repairing.
100%. Raids, those repairs do come through from Logitech to try and, again, just a really good job, like you mentioned, from the builder to just mitigate as much damage as possible. Although it is maybe protecting 1 or 2 rockets, that's 1 or 2 rockets that may not blow a hole straight through your hull.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Bara has any intention of moving forward yet, maybe until they get a little more damage done. But it looks like Logitech asked a few of the other guys to come over, maybe help rebuild, or at least shoot the guys off the roof.
Try and get something at least, but yeah, Logitech is doing a good job. They're able to repair that outer wall with kind of shoddy craftsmanship, but you got to do what you got to do.
Put a wall up however you can. And he's doing just that. I like how the rocket just went right past the little wall he made.
Yeah,
it's like, no, we're gonna go here now.
Yeah, they're good at maneuvering those rockets, targeting them to exactly where they want them to go. But 50 minutes left now in this raiding phase. Time is starting to expire for these teams. Sesame keeping up their point lead, increasing it to about 40. And again, Bar and Logitech very close to each other, and the other 3 teams below them also very close. So we're gonna change on location, go away from that roof right here. So we got some dead bodies all around. This looks like the building of BG. Their outer compound wall has been absolutely demolished here, and they got some teams already on the inside of their base.
Yeah, and if this is the same base design as last time, I mean, some other team may have an idea of where it is, but I would hope that the builder would go, okay, let's put it somewhere else this time. But we never know. I mean, that's what's great about all these bases and the advent calendars, is there's always a different place you can put it.
There's a different place that you could put it, you know, try and change it around so the teams don't know where it is. Joke is really content on getting on in here. It also looks like Mark is over there, Mac over there here is trying to get on in also. So both these teams, I know we saw Mac trying to be a little pest to this VG team early on in the attack phase, but now they're pushing on in, Joke alongside them. There's a lot of doors already gone on this base.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Max because they've pretty much spent all of their time at this base. It's like they haven't given up, moved on to something else, trying to get more TCs, and their points show it. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes they get so they have tunnel vision. They need to get this one. We already started it. We already used rockets. Let's keep going on this one. And sometimes that's your downfall, rather than regrouping, maybe finding somebody else, countering a different raid where somebody else has used a lot of the boom.
It's really hard though, you know, it's what everyone wants to do, you know, you say, we put so much resources into this space, we put so much of our time, our effort, our resources, our lives into this one raid, and you know, if it's just like they're repairing or they're able to defend it, like, and you're so set on it, you waste so much time that all those other teams, they have time to go get
There you go, a little trade-off, but the other guy's just down. Oh, he's going to be healing and taken out while trying to pick up his teammate. Closing doors. Good job. That should have been closed in the first place.
Definitely should.
Or did he just put a new one on? I'm not sure.
Possibly, either way, but they're going to try and get defense. BG doing a good job of trying to get these players out. I think the first thing they need, obviously, they need to repair their lower walls, because that's where really it seems like everyone is entering through is the most important. Joe could have jumped down though 1v1 with VG, and VG gonna lose that one. Joe getting some nice kills back and forth now as trying to get something going. They'll lose one of their players on the left side of that base. VG still alive and well, but their base is pretty in shambles, I would say.
Yeah, there's a few holes. The water is seeping out. They need to plug it up. But at one point, at a certain point, you're just like, when do we start repairing? When do we start? Because right now they're just so focused on these two teams and just killing them and getting them out of the base.
They definitely are, and Swiss cheese house is, I believe, what it is labeled on Realtor.com for this one. Water seeps out of it.
And it does.
See if they can get those repairs. And it's tough. Like you said, there's so much to focus on because there is two teams there that, you really have to go out, send players to try and kill them, because if you try and repair it, again, those walls take time to build up in durability, and it's just going to be easily destroyed there, as it looks like Mac and Joke both trying to take towards this high ground. Joke is going to get a nice little peek, though, and be able to most likely get inside of the shooting.
Yeah, if they can get through that door, that'll be really good for them, but I don't know if they brought any boom up with them. Maybe a drop down right in there.
No, 100% exactly if they have or have not just yet, but we'll have to see. Again, a nice little drop down into the base here. Some ladders there. VG prepared, though, for anyone that wants to walk into them. And halfway almost through this raid phase here in this Rustoria base Invaders North America competition here today. Sesame still holding strong in that top spot. Their lead has been cut just a little bit. Barra caught up some, and kind of separated themselves from Logitech. But yeah, Sesame still have about 25 points. You got to think that they are most likely getting themselves onto another raid.
Yeah. We do hear C4, so somebody obviously has boom in here. How much? Or are they just despawning? I'm not sure what's going on.
Must be some despawning going on, but yeah, outside door is going to be blown off. Still entrances in for both teams. It looks like VG doing a good job of just defending. They are the only ones inside their own base right now. Looks like the other two teams have slowed a little bit. Great job from VG on this. Mostly complete defense.
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and check on something else, since that one seems to have slowed down a little bit.
Slowing down, but now on to another base. It looks like RU Flossie may be the target of some raiding now. Looks like Sesame, not happy that they joined on the raid with them, and Sesame going to be looking towards now RU Flossie's base, which already has, a semi-big hole in the middle of it. Sesame once again showcasing their skill and how good they can raid these bases.
Yeah, their rocket placements are really nice, taking out the core. You have a nice breach. They haven't even bothered with the compound wall. They're like, let's do as much damage as possible before we have to worry about actually jumping in there. Because they've already pretty much guaranteed that TC isn't on this side.
Yeah, they have, there's no side on this side anymore, so...
Yeah.
We have confirmed that there's no TC there, but they're going to, like you said, just destroy as much as they can before they can get themselves on it. It looks like Arbol is going to be on the other side of this one. And, we talk about, leaderboard right now. If this TC were to go over to Arbol, they can pretty much almost tie up with Sesame in the points that they have. So they want to get this one done quick, but don't want to let it slip. Slot is also semi-nearby in the distance, but yeah, it looks like Sesame, they want this one. They're rocketing. You see just how many walls are placed there, but Player Arbol is going to try and go get this flank, try and stop them, and maybe give Arbol the upper hand in this one. So shot's going to be traded. First almost taken down, but only taken down to 29. He's going to be stuck. And with just 56 health here, got to heal up.
Yeah, the SWAT member who was trying to sneak up behind was taken out. We'll see how well the Arbol member will actually survive out there by himself. But yeah, we have two different sides taking damage now. The builder is trying to repair, at least keep the shooting floor protected, but the walls go down really quick.
Trying to keep that shooting floor protected, but there's almost a hole through the entire floor. So many rockets launching out here, and Arbol is actually going to be the first team to push on in. They're a little bit closer towards that compound wall, but they are also shooting rockets. And for RU Flossie, again, a rough scenario. They are going to be the ones in this town of doom that is most likely going to pay next for their price of living here. And there you go, a nice little area opening right through the base.
Yeah, it definitely narrows down the focus where you should be shooting. It is an interesting design. There isn't really an inner core or like inner big hallway or anything like that. It's just all one base, honeycombed. Maybe just a single jump up in a loot room. I'm not really sure.
It's pretty much what it seems like to me. And yeah, these rockets going down, it's audible, and it's going to be Sesame on the other side. They can wave to each other. They can say hi through the hole in the middle of our Flossie's base here. They're going to keep on these rockets. They're going to keep on going.
Oh, fell in the hole. Don't worry, stay there long enough, a rocket will take care of you.
Exactly, but yeah, these rockets are relentless here, continuing. Arbo is going to be right up against that compound wall, seeing if they can get some members on in here, try and take out some of those lower pieces that are protected by the compound wall. But right now, Sesame is content with just keeping, staying with what they have, staying with the rocket angle they have, not sending anyone in just yet, and kind of, it's smart, letting RB Flossie kind of take out some of those Arbol members first, and then maybe they can go in and clean up with a third party.
Yeah. I think they may have an idea. Looks like that's one of the ways up to the top.
Stairs, something like that. Something to get there. There's one little connector left on that roof shooting floor area, and then that roof is pretty much fully exposed. But yeah, focusing on the lower part here. Don't get me wrong, trying to take out the rest of the roof. Maybe, like we said, there's probably beds and other things up there that are smart to target, but there's also Arbol in this base. Sesame, Big Bird, gonna get a kill here though, and they're gonna start their push on in. So for RU Flossie, it is not looking good.
No, it's going bad. Looks like they are despawning some of the C4, so it cannot be used, but it's not gonna help them a lot.
Yeah, it is just looking like a massacre here for members of RU Flossie trying to do everything they can to defend this base, but Sesame is right there too, and this base is most likely going to drop soon.
Yeah, these guys need to keep blowing into these walls with the remaining connectors.
They really do. I mean, Arbol is in there first. Sesame is trying to get their push on in, but I mean, they both invested a lot again into this base, putting a lot of rockets into this one. And Sesame, they're gonna send their members on in now, but they're trying to get some of this foundation out, trying to get further into the base. But as we're talking about that, Arbol is going to have all of their members inside this compound wall.
A little quiet, but we have some rockets coming in. Joker trying to just keep a line, maybe get some PvP points out of it.
Those points being huge. Obviously, points being the thing that wins you the game. But for RU Flossie, focused on not points, but surviving or giving points to these two enemy teams here. As 40 minutes left in this raiding phase, under halfway, and Sesame's still holding their lead. They've slowed down a little bit, and they're trying to put some members towards this base. And there you go. Looks like they got fully kitted up, went back, grabbed boom, and now this will be the green light for them. RU Flossie member gets beamed down by 3, and it is going to be a race because Arbol, it looks like they got mostly taken care of by RU Flossie.
Yep, it was, I mean, this is what you hope for when you're raiding a base, is for the other team to go after another team that's also raiding. It just takes the attention off of you.
Undy.
Choosing whatever they have left to take this out.
Trying to take out that foundation like we've seen before. The C4 is going to absolutely blow a hole in the base here, and you can see just how much of it there is. Explosions center here for this Sesame team, and gonna play defense now, pull out some of these rifles, and again, watching each other's back, making sure they have the opportunity to throw those, those C4, and this is the entrance they actually wanted, so they'll put up the C4 first and try and get further into the lower part of this base at a different angle as the others are anticipating.
Yeah, it does seem like this base, I would assume probably the TC is down here just for how well protected the exterior was, and then the second and third level seem to be mostly like honeycomb and not really anything. It's a good bet. It's either up here or hidden slightly up on the roof, which I didn't see much of a roof left, so I'm gonna say it's down here.
Yeah, no real roof left up there. You got to assume it's most likely down here in this bottom section where they have it, like we said, very heavily protected. And, they took our PSA. Those garage doors, and we're going to take some deaths here as Ryan is still fighting. They are going to fight to the bitter end, not going to go out without swinging. They're going to try and stop this team. Horrible is now back in Sesame, trying to run in at the same time, but both teams now have to be careful because they can kind of see each other. Horrible wants to take the exact same path that they took. In the same path.
Yeah, unfortunately shot before he could see the...
That's unfortunate. That is just unfortunate. Killed by the C4. Take this
He tried his hardest.
Did. Very much did, but now Sesame, they're going to try their hardest to go through these walls here. Again, this lower sector really the only thing that didn't get attacked by rockets, but now some C4, some rockets going to be launched on out here for Sesame as they try and Cookie Monster this time, and the C4 monster.
More doors. More doors.
Always more doors, fun thing. I'm surprised behind door number one is another door. Fun here for Sesame is they're going to try and break through all of these garage doors. There are so many of them on this bottom floor, but again, it's most likely somewhere on this bottom floor. But X-Ray, they are joining the fray now. Need to try and get this. They don't have X-ray vision to scan through this one, but Sesame are the ones deep inside of this low ground.
Yeah, I mean, and seeing garage doors, especially in this tournament, it's it takes 2 C4 to get into it. It's going to take even more just the one single door. So it's a big indicator for people when you see a garage door. Be like, maybe they're using that as that extra protection.
Exactly. It has a little bit of extra protection there, but we will see what they can try to do because deep inside Sesame, they're going to try and finish this one off. Those garage doors all closed, starting to break through those walls, looking for the TC, and they have kind of a thought that it's going to be down here just like us.
Yeah. Well, when you can see through the other side of the base, you already kind of have an idea about what the floor plan is. It didn't leave much else. Somebody's still going through with rockets, though.
Trying to break
Looks
through,
like-
see if they can beat them.
Yeah, it looks like Are You Flossy decided to go ahead and repair, maybe, is what I'm seeing. And now these are... Or is that the other side of the base? No, that's the holy side. Okay.
Holes all over, though, for this base. Not real much room to be safe. Sesame, though, that's important, though, that those outer walls start to get broken, and they're going to be able to, be seen. So X-Ray will be able to maybe snipe them down from the outside.
Looks like they think they might have found it. There's another high qual over here. Maybe thinking it's going to be a high qual floor that the TC will be under.
The fighting now going on. Fun teams, they're hearing the sound. They want the base. They want the glory of taking them out. But I mean, we talk about it's been really on the old stage right now for what has happened. We're talking about a third of the raid phase now left. 290 points for Sesame. They're getting a lot of PvP points from this raid, and no one else really has been able to get a TC.
Yeah. anybody closer, either they're defending on a raid or they're just getting PvP points to keep up, but nobody's really jumped ahead.
Jump super
X-rays in. Maybe I'm not sure if he's aware that that is a waste of C4.
It's for redesign the house, you know.
Yeah.
We'll be wasting that C4 there, as it is just really a bloodbath here, as there are so many teams here. Are you Flossie? I mean, they just gotta be like giving up at this point. You can see their base is just like cut in half. It is just absolutely gone. I mean, you gotta be just like, how are we still alive?
Maybe running low on boom. Oh no, there it goes again. They're making sure nobody else is there to mess with them.
I mean, it's hard at this point. I mean, there's so many teams around that, like, there's so many angles that you really have to have someone watching your back at every moment. So, and then you can't get those this boom down, and that's me gonna try and break on in here. They find some beds at least. No TC yet though.
Yeah, and if any of you in the viewing audience sees this and it looks like it's a lot of fun, go ahead and join our Discord, !Discord in our chat. There are sign-ups every Monday, and for a tournament on Sunday, $100 prize winner. The team sizes vary. This is a 6v6, so it goes from 4v4 to 9v9s. If you don't have a full team or you're looking to possibly get in on a team, I believe there's a channel that you can go in and request. Or if somebody just needs one extra player to make a team, I mean, so it's a good community and a lot of stuff happening there. So go ahead and join.
To join, bring your friends. Like you said, got a chance to win the $100 prize pool 2 times actually, because we run 2 of those Q&A events every Sunday there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, 20 times loot, so it's more focused on, you know, you don't have to also spend that time. You know, the Rust can be a little bit tedious in the fact of going getting all that loot, building up your base, but with it being 20 times the loot pool, you can get those built a lot faster, and it's a lot more focused on just the fun of raiding, defending, and gunfighting.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it's really helpful. You see, it's exponentially, like, the bases will grow larger and larger depending on the team size. So these are just 6v6. So you can imagine what the 9v9s, when you have 9 people out there gathering all that stuff, all the materials and everything else, and how large your base can be. And then you have the 4v4s, where that's one of the most difficult things to do, or the 3v3s. So the base sizes are much smaller, but that means you have less team to go out and get loot, and so maybe less boom. But and there's different play styles, and it's fun to watch the different styles of play each week.
It very much is a lot of fun, but breaking the silence of the no TC, finally after the lull, Cutler will be able to take out Uga there and jump themselves up into a 3rd place position with, again, only a 1/3 of the raid period left. Once that timer hits 0, whoever is at the top will be our winner. And right now, Sesame looking like they are doing a good job. This raid has taken a while for a lot of these teams, and it just seems like no one can find the base. But Sesame, they've been paid off in the way, you know, they've been getting all of these kills that we were trying to jump up on this low ground. They are just waiting.
Yeah, Sesame's trying to make their way back in from far away. Looks like a lot of the walls have despawned. So they're exposed, especially with Arobel still out there, taking them out while they don't have any kits on. I want to say roof. Too. I mean, there's still like that door that's there, although it could just be the jump up. But it's just like a random door on the roof. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
It could be the jump up. It looks like it's the jump up, so I don't know.
Yeah, it could be, but you know, there's been so much blown up in this base already. It either has to be, you know, like you said, on this roof or on this low ground. There's a little bit of a sector of this wall left that could be up inside of, but I mean, other than that, you can see like the roof is on its last leg. This base, I mean, we're talking about a full square base that has been reduced to maybe 2 or 3 goalposts of roof here. for this team of Are You Flossy?
Alright, that seems to have slowed down a little bit. We'll check out Snetic. Is this Snetic's base or QCYO's base, I think?
QCYOs. I think these are the ones that were building these, we will check that real quick. It's actually, yeah, so it's QCYO's base. It'll be Snetic who is trying to raid this one, going away from some other raids, trying to get one for themselves. And with Sesame, again, just bumping up their kills, bumping up that pressure, Snetic really has to go forward and raid a different base here. So they're going to try it. It looks like Kotler is going to be in the distance, who has made a really good rise in the leaderboard the past like 10-15 minutes, getting that TC, getting some kill points. If they get another one, Kotler would definitely still be in this tournament.
Kotler, Rido over there is going to shoot a random rocket. He looks like he was taken out. So Snetic is only sitting 6th. I mean, but they would need a TC and hope that maybe somebody's raiding Sesame.
Yeah, that's honestly what you're hoping now. I mean, for Sesame, they've been keeping up the aggression, and that's good until you're that big juicy target that if everyone else 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are all super close in points, and you're the one 100, 200 ahead, you're going to become a massive target, especially as time starts to expire and teams they get more and more dangerous because they don't have as much. But Snetic, actually, look at this, a beautiful job from them, not even having to go through a lot of the base, and they are going to find this TC, and like you said, jumping themselves up into a 2nd place spot with just 25 minutes remaining.
And so they have plenty of time if they can get toward the main loot of QCYO. You would assume, since I haven't seen them out raiding all that much, that they would have enough boom to maybe go out and find another target. And they could be going after Sesame, who knows? Or they could find an easier one.
They could go after Sesame to take out, their competition, but like you said, they could go for a little bit of an easier base, try and get something that would still jump them into the lead. But yeah, Sesame looking like the raid boss right now. They've definitely done a good job to stay where they are in that 1st place position. Time is starting to dwindle now. Time is the one thing, the one resource you can't farm to get more of. As it goes down, like we said, it's going to be more and more dangerous for these teams because, the less they have to lose if they're 7, 8, 9, 10, the more dangerous they are.
We had a question in the chat. Yeah, friendly fire is off in this tournament. There would be a lot less play going on because how many times I've seen them shoot themselves. Yeah, their own C4 and rockets don't cause them any damage, but also the damage done by rockets, like if you were shooting at another team, is lessened a little bit. So there's not really a lot of PvP rocketing going on.
Pretty much, yeah, making sure that you don't shoot your teammates is a smart thing, because like we see in those really clumped bases, sometimes those bullets do whiz right into your teammate's body. But yeah, it's also like you mentioned, those rockets do less on those PvP damage, so that you're not just, when you're roof raiding, you can't just be annoying and blow them up with a couple of rockets. It takes a lot more, and it really encourages you to use your rockets not for PvP, but to actually, to destroy the bases.
Yeah. And they're still in here. They're still trying to rebuild. We have a locker. That's cool. I think it's one of our first, not loot room exactly, but something a little extra to find.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been so many teams here that it is rough to keep up with. SWAT, though, are looking now to come in and swoop this. It looks like the repairs have come through on the one side of this base, but again, the bottom, the middle is still in a little bit of a rough spot from the side that Sesame raided on. But you can see Are You Flossy, they're doing a good job of just trying to get these repairs back up and trying to get them to a point where, they can settle themselves back out if there is a point that they can get to like that.
SWAT trying to get up there, but yeah, Flossy's like, no, that's our roof, not allowed. It's quiet again.
Really quiet.
As soon as I say it is, somebody's shooting a rocket.
quiet, but I mean quiet in the sense that no one is really, getting close to a finish of a raid. It seems like we've had this kind of lull period, 30-35 minutes, where it's been only really Cutler and Snetic, the only two teams to really take a couple successful raids, like, because we see a lot of those early easy raids go through, and then it's a lot of experienced teams, especially like RU Flossie, who have won before, who have done a lot of really good performances in the past, and they are experienced enough to, even when their base is in complete shambles, stay composed and stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a credit to RU Flossie's builder. The fact that so much damage has been done to the space and nobody's found the TC and it's still standing in a way, that it's really nicely done. If they can get the repairs off, maybe these other teams will go away. But looks like our Obel is still there and trying to, they have an idea at least where the TC isn't. But any new teams that will come, if you can get those repairs up, new walls up, they might go after the same sites and waste their rockets, and they're doing a really good job.
And now we switch gears over to Cutler. It's going to be on the defense against a raid by Snetic. Snetic, they have just taken another raid, so they are just, like you said, because they got that raid on so quickly, they can take that same boom, get over here, and they're already going to be killing those roof players, and if they can destroy these beds, it would be a huge power position, because you can see just how many sleeping bags there are on the roof.
I kind of like it. It's going to take them a long time to take care of all those those sleeping bags, but at the same time, you're not going to have the quick response. And wood? They're interesting. Maybe it was patchwork. Because I didn't see any turrets up there either, so maybe previously somebody had gotten up there.
Yeah, could possibly be some patchwork, but I think they were preparing for a sleepover. Wanted to have their friends over. A little bit of watch the stars, night under the sky with all those bags. But yeah, wood on the interior. You hope that it's patchwork, and you hope that is not there all the way down. But for Snetic, they're gonna push on in, not caring about these bags right now. They're just gonna push through and try and make their way on down. And there's a pathway almost all the way through towards the core of this base, where those actual beds are.
And usually the beds are made here just because of the faster respawn time than the bags. You usually see the sleeping bags on the outside. Since it does take more material, you save those for your raid platforms or your roof or inside your base.
Exactly. Snetic now, though, on towards this high ground. They're going to hold this roof right now. It's a big base that they have to get through, but again, what is on the line for them if they get a successful raid off on this one? They retake first place possibly away from Sesame. And Sesame, they've been on the raid on, RU Flossie for a while now, and just no success on it.
Yeah, no success, but there's lots of damage already done inside this hallway. So this is that, the advent calendar door, but it's hidden in the wall. So you just have to tunnel your way through these things, take out all the doors. And luckily it only takes one C4 each time around.
It is that way. They will start to blow through these doors, try and find this TC for themselves, and time starting to tick down. It is going to become a factor against Snetic. 18 minutes for Sesame to try and hold on towards this lead, and anyone else. I mean, we're talking, there's a lot of teams that it's a possibility that if Sesame falls and Snetic doesn't get this raid off, we could really have a horse race here at the end.
Wonder if he's aware, the one member in there taking out those walls, or those doors, if that one side is high qual for a reason, or if that was just a mistake. Which I've done that before. I've upgraded the high qual. Oh no, I needed that.
Yeah, it could be just a mistake, but also, like you said, could be an indication of where that TC is, putting that high qual to try and protect that TC a little bit better, but also giving it away because it's high qual. But it also could be that reverse psychology of, oh, we put high qual here just to try and trick you to think that it is nothing. So. lot of it. There you go. They actually get it really quick once more. Ow.
Very nicely done.
Kinetic. It's beautiful from them, and with that successful raid, don't know where it was. There's a lot of this base left. They just go in, they clean it up. Very well done. With that, first place for them, Sesame. I mean, you now got to be shaking in your boots losing that first place spot.
Yep, they need to move on to the next raid or hope to be raided themselves and get some raid defense points.
Definitely need to. The base on RU Flossie 2 just seems to be holding up. I mean, we haven't seen them fall. They somehow finding a way to mount that defense. Sesame an unsuccessful raid on them right now, and I mean, we're talking about it. Logitech, they have been quietly and consistently gaining some points here. We see Logitech right there. Their base, small, but, you know, small and wide has worked out for them, building up those extra walls on the outside to try and protect from those rockets. And, you know, if they get one more TC, they are in contention also with just 15 minutes left.
Yeah. And the fact that they've kind of stopped the rockets from Bara, and looks like they've maybe picked on them a little bit as well. It pushed them away from them. They were able to gain the raid defense points for taking all of those rockets. So the longer they held that going up, maybe that's why they didn't push back as much, because they can earn up to 40 points just defending the base.
Right. Earn a lot of those points just from that defense there, but Bara's gonna be in a little bit of trouble. It looks like a long angle here from Logitech. A nice long angle to play that high ground, and you see Bara have to build up those defenses on that side to try and defend from those rockets. But player from Logitech, you see those rockets just raining down, and all of a sudden Logitech, they have two different angles now to raid this base from.
Yeah, it keeps Bara on their on their toes. I mean, they're having to maybe somebody rebuild, somebody push out. They're having to try to do something, and they're sitting 4th place, so they're not doing bad.
Not doing bad, but you lose your TC, you are once again just out. Does not matter how many points you have. And coming down to this final 15 minutes of this raid phase, it is going to be an exciting one for sure. Snetic still about a 9-point lead over Sesame. Logitech and Bara both still definitely in it. And I mean, RU Flossie and Arbol still both not far behind. A lot of these teams really, really tightly clumped together.
Yeah, I enjoy when they're this close. I mean, just because one TC at the last minute can change the whole makeup of the game.
One TC can change it all for anyone. For Logitech, I mean, you said it, that they have multiple angles. They have the possibility to push this one out, but they are running out of time.
Yeah, they seem to be just. I don't know if Bara, because their compound is completely open, if they're just taking it, it's hard for them to leave their own base.
Right.
But what's going on there? Sesame back home.
Try and see here if they can get it in, because again, oh wow, RU Flossie, their bases somehow still living. Got to give props to them to be able to repair all that, but still a massive crater-sized hole in the side of that one. But no one's successfully raiding them. A really good job on that defense. Got to give it to them.
Honestly, I mean, if I was doing this, I'd fly. Yeah. Oh, but that's RU Flossie coming home. I would fly to the roof, because once you're able to keep them like off of that, somebody else can focus, and you've got the cover to get anybody who wants to contest, and you have a chance to get them away. But I think people are running low on boom and things, and maybe going off to go grab more loot.
Yeah, most likely that would be the case. And yeah, 13 minutes left, not a lot of time. Snetic, though, the gap has been closed, and now the gap between first and second is just one singular point here. Both Sesame and Snetic having the opportunity. Like you mentioned, though, Snetic, the one in EU earlier today, and then with coming in with a different name, looking to go back to back.
Hoping to see some of these other teams that we really haven't seen involved in the raids go out and push somebody. Like SWAT, I've seen them, like 1 or 2 members on the exterior, but I haven't really seen them make a hard push.
super big move out, and you know, at this point you have nothing else to lose, so why not just send everything on out towards, you know, these other teams. And you know, almost 10 minutes left, almost not a full enough time to get a full read off just yet, but gotta be quick with it. Sesame, they are going to try and get on in this one. C4 packed on in, and Sesame, you get this raid off, and you know, Snetic doesn't, you could possibly win the game with this one.
Can't loot for long. Never want to get caught head down looting.
Don't. Sesame does. A nice C4 going to be placed on out. Rockets will also be raided now as they try to make their way on in. This looks like BJK's base. We saw them early in the attack phase. They have kind of started to slow down, but Sesame, they will most likely be able to get this res off on Elmo. Be able to get that one.
It's like PJK finally got control of the roof again, but they don't seem to be too worried about the guys inside throwing boom.
No, they do not. If they drop, it just seems like Sesame is leading for them. He's gonna get a trade here. 1v1 now, swinging around the corner.
That was nice. They split up their entry.
Yeah, I mean, the first player gets caught. The second player just 2v1s, absolutely beautiful. They're gonna hold them out for now, as it looks like, you know, it was just those two players just maybe trying to be a thorn again in the side. Sesame, though, they do get a couple of kills there along with it. So 343, they will be leading by 2. It is a nail biter here, as again, Aura and Logitech, Flossie, all still in this one if they can find a late TC here.
Was a little low. Aim higher. Come on, Rocketeer.
X-Ray just trying to defend now. Very strong base looking for them. Still not in the top 10 for them, unfortunate, but worst on the defense. Nothing really you can do here in this final 10. Yeah, you can see X-Ray down there. 36 points. Wonder where DFG is. Haven't seen them at all today. Points.
Yeah, I haven't seen them at all.
Must have been one of the outskirt teams that just chilling, you know, maybe wanted a beachside location.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they would have been located.
100% for sure, but yeah, a lot of raids going on, and it is interesting here. Snetic, I don't know if this is possibly their base.
Okay, so DFG may have actually gone out of the tournament, but haven't been crossed off our leaderboard yet.
Could be that. See here, has under 10 minutes is the answer now. X-Ray. The walls on the outside not very strong here. That compound wall made up of just wood, and really though, I mean, it's going to be hard, you know, 9 minutes left for all these teams. It's really hard to get a full raid off in this time period, and you know, if you don't get one off, you're just going to give Snetic / Sesame win here, and Sesame, they don't want to let this
TC.
Wow, just find it on that first wall. Good catch. I didn't even see that one on the outside. Maybe they don't see it. Finally they do. PJK is eliminated, and with that, Sesame, I mean, we talk about the leaderboard, but Sesame, they just extended their lead by 30.
I was really lucky for them. It was Snetic jumping up the leaderboard as quickly as they did. But I wonder where Snetic is and if they have a chance. I don't know, with 8 minutes left, it's not much of one unless they could steal it from somebody else.
And I think that was also the base that Sesame, I think, was raiding. Like, they put those two players towards, and so they kind of scouted out the core, and then, you know, like you said, just getting a nice good rocket in there, they get it good. But Snetic, this is their chance now. They got a raid platform set up. 30 points from the one and only Sesame. Sesame Street. Those characters are looking to win out here today as Joke. They're going to have to try and defend from this Snetic team.
So if Sesame wins, are we going to be the opera house, like the critics? I'll take that. Okay, we're seeing some high falls so far. That may be a good sign that they're aiming in the right direction, and they obviously think so as well, taking out some of the roof. It's a very scary roof.
And there's a lot of high qual up there to burn through, and they're going to have to. Again, 7 minutes left. The time is ticking for any other team. It's pretty far out to win now. Sesame versus Snetic seems like the real battle here, and Snetic is going to try and get this raid complete. Down 30 points here in these final closing minutes of the NA Base Invaders.
Now this is one of those, it's like, do we joke when they get a little bit extra points? They know they're not going to win, but as long as they can, they'll gain some, prevent somebody from eliminating them completely.
Right, that's true. You know, you can go and get some more points. There's obviously, you know, a moral aspect of trying to get a successful raid here at the end and trying to do that. Joke shooting their teammates there. Friendly fire loud. Be scaring each other a little bit.
Yeah, those jump scares will get you every time. You just see a body and you shoot, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's you. All right, we're good.
Yeah, but Joke is actually, they're gonna start getting shot by the actual enemies on the outside as they try and repair, they try and get everything set back up, and we'll see. It looks like there are two other teams on the outside of their base, but not really looking towards them. VG is somewhat on the outside, but they're just maybe walking in a little bit further, throwing in some of that C4 to break that outer wall up. But yeah, Snetic, they have this platform here so they can push on in, but they're waiting for a push. They're waiting to try and get an entrance into this base, and it seems like the rockets are starting to slow down for them.
Yeah, I think Joke had a couple members back there picking on him, so it distracted them. They had to put away their rocket launchers and take care of the problem.
Definitely that too, but yeah, once again, I mean, we gotta talk about Sesame. They just done a good job all of this attack phase. I mean, we talk about Arbol leading at the end of that attack phase. It goes over to Sesame and Snetic here in this raid phase. It just goes to show you that, you know, attack phase isn't everything, and those teams that, you know, start to get those early PvP points, it doesn't always transfer over into a win.
Take care of the VG member who snuck in. Trying to just bust into the core.
Getting into that core would be nice, but yeah, we're talking about 4 minutes and 20 seconds here for this raid phase. Ticking down, it's the final countdown, but-a-doo-doo for these teams to try and catch up to the one and only Sesame, who still holds a 30-point lead over any other team.
So yeah, Logitech is trying to push.
Logitech getting something done. They are a little bit far out, you know, just like you said, maybe trying to get some points here, trying to steal a second place away, but Sesame, they're doing a really good job. I feel like if you're Sesame right now, Blast, are you holding back? Are you playing defense, or are you looking to get some more points?
Oh, points. Points for sure. I mean, you just push all the way through. You maybe go pick on somebody else who's trying to jump up the leaderboard to catch you, and you just pester them, and so they can't get that raid off to get those points.
That's a great point. You know, you can pester them, make sure that, you know, you can be that, you know, just walk behind them, kill all their members, and if they can't get that TC, then they can't catch you. Beautiful strategy, but see how they do decide to play it. Now 3 minutes on the clock. Winner at the end. Again, whoever is at the top of that leaderboard will be walking away with that prize pool here. Sponsored by Rustoria. Again, huge thanks to them for sponsoring the tournament here today. See how it does end out. It does look like Sesame, though, they're just holding on to doing a good job right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're just getting a couple of PV points here and there, but not really focused, or maybe haven't found a skirmish large enough to really get involved in.
Haven't found the perfect entrance for them, but I'm still trying to keep it up. You know, I'm definitely not letting Snetic gain a full large lead on them. It's cut down to about 25, 26 instead of 30, but you know, Snetic is going to need a successful raid to catch them. That is really what it comes down to. The bottom line for Snetic, either they get a successful raid or they get second. And you know, it's going to be the same thing for Logitech. Either they get a successful raid or they get third.
Yeah, well, they're pushing in now, so get a little bit of extra points towards them. But can they move fast enough? We have somebody high-qualling the area already. It might be the good sign that the TC is up here if they're already protecting this area. Ooh!
It's right there. TC is there, and Logitech. Oh, it's a one-waller for them. Oh, they tried to high-qual it, but it was not fast enough. Logitech jumping themselves up into a second place, 383 on the scoreboard. You love to see that.
Absolutely.
One-waller for them.
Hey, it's
About a
still
minute left.
20 behinds. About 20 behind, but getting second place is still really amazing in this game.
They really got, you know, we saw Logitech run out to it early. I mean, they were the team that in the raid phase they started it out with those 2 early successful raids, slowed down a little bit in the middle, but like you said, second place is nothing to be unhappy about. I'd like to see that. I mean, for all of the times they spent trying to burn through bases and burn through all those advent counters, it's nice to just have one where, you know, it's just a one wall.
Yeah. And I think if that guy hadn't high-qualled right in the middle, they may have tried one of the easier doors to get through. But that immediate high-qual, it's a warning. It's a flag. It's like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm going to go after what you're protecting.
Definitely is, but time is now ticking down to the final 10 seconds here. Sesame looks like they have held on unless something crazy happens. It does not look like it will. The final scoreboard will pop up here, and it looks like at the end of it, Logitech pull it out.
Oh, man. Just those extra points.
Yeah, I guess defense or something points just jumped them up to the top.
I mean, it is possible that maybe they were in the process of being raided and earned raid defense points at the same time. I don't know, but it gave them extra points, and that's shocking. I figured the Sesame Street guys would have won.
And that is absolutely shocking. And if you remember, Logitech was that base that had that outer compound wall broken that was just getting constantly rocketed but never really pushed. So maybe they got pushed toward that end, and because that timer ended, it counts as a successful raid defense along with that successful raid completed. Beautiful from Logitech. Like you said, shocked. That is the only word I have in mind for 3 raids completed, 4 raid defenses, 200 kills, and a slight squeak out of that W.
Yeah, and their top kill was 56. I mean, they were everywhere, and they had a really fast start.
Like they didn't get started as quick as they would wanted to in the attack phase, but like you mentioned, just as soon as they get into the raid phase, bang bang, 2 of those raids back to back for them, successful, and then at the end, you know, just staying consistent throughout, getting that final raid completed, bookending their raid phase with successful raids completed. And you know, Sesame, that one's gotta hurt. I mean, that one, you've been holding on to that one for a while. 4 successful raids completed, 200 kills, and you know, you're hoping that you see it at the end, you think you're good, and not.
Yeah, Cameron the Frog with 58 as well. I mean, so the kills, they had a little bit more even kills in the first and Logitech, but still they did an amazing job. I mean, it just goes to show you that it's okay when the time is so far down to send out your players to go do that raid. I'll let you know if they're getting close to the TC at base. So just keep doing what you're doing, and sometimes it pays off.
Sometimes it does, but I mean, it's still second place. You can't be ashamed of that one for Sesame. Love the name changes on that one, and hopefully we will able to see them in the coming weeks. 4 raids completed for them, a second place finish, but for Snetic, it was also good. I mean, keeping themselves, I mean, all of these teams really here today that, you know, really did a really good job of staying alive, staying in it, and for Snetic especially, their KD, I think, is the one thing I want to point out. Almost 250 kills to 150 deaths. One of the best KDs as a team in the lobby.
Absolutely. They just didn't get as much of the raids going on. They got stuck in a few places. At one point, had to go back and defend. So they were slowed down quite a bit. Maybe building location wasn't great for them in terms of being close enough by other teams to go after them. But I mean, they did really good performance. I mean, David Dobrik, 81. I mean, it's a great job.
That's a great job, and they'll take home that third place. Bara, though, is going to be able to take home fourth, 351 points to their name, and that is all coming off. You see that 7 raid defenses. A great job. Maybe they could have sent some players out to get some more offense going, but still a nice job to finish in the top 5, and getting 7 raid defenses is huge.
That's what happens when you go pick on somebody and then you just piss them off enough that they're just going to attack you nonstop. Yeah. But unfortunately, I mean, that kept them from going out and doing stuff. So early on, they were able to go out and push on to other people and attempt raids, but they were pushed back almost immediately, or somebody else took over. It was unfortunate for them, but they did an amazing job defending their base. That could have been over really quick.
They did an amazing job. But talking about amazing defense, we got to talk about our 5th place team. Are you Flossie? Only 3 successful raid defenses, but man, I don't know how this team survived, and just props to them for figuring a way through all of that madness, through their base cut in half, through their foundation lost, through their roof destroyed, finding a way to survive through that.
That builder, whoever that builder is on this team, they did an amazing job hiding that TC. It was great, and to have that building still stand after so much damage was taken. So I mean, the fact that they're still in it is amazing, and they did a great job.
A great job from them. But at the end of the day, Logitech will be our first place finisher. Sesame takes a nice second place. Logitech stealing it away from that at the end. But before we end it off here, ladies and gentlemen, first we got to give a huge thank you to Gigi in production. Love it. The camera work. Also appreciate all the admins in game, making sure everyone following the rules, everything like that. Secondly, a huge thanks to Rusty Pot once again for sponsoring the prize pool here tonight. The third thank you is to my co-caster, BlastRites. And final thank you, obviously, to Twitch chat. You guys were hyping it up. Any final words before we end it off, Blast?
I just, if you think you can do better, or if you have questions and you want to learn more about it, join our Discord. That's really the only thing. I mean, it looks like fun, and I'm sure it is. It's like, just get some friends together, join. As you can see, there's so many different levels, different experience levels and everything else, and you can still have fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, but I think that is going to do it for Rustoria Base Invaders for North America. Like Blast said, if you want to join these, check out the Discord, !Discord in the Twitch chat. Also, next weekend, we will have another set of these games, EU and NA, and those will be reoccurring, obviously. So, check out the Twitch stream once again. But I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for watching Rustoria Base Invaders, brought to you by Rusty Pot. We all hope you have a good night, and we will see you all next time.